Hello, welcome to Weekly Recap. I am your host, Vivian Kabono. This is the show that brings you a recap of what has been happening locally and internationally in this week. This show is brought to you by NewsunplugKE. Kindly subscribe, like, share, and comment. Stay tuned. On to our first story. Now, earlier this the Githongori MP Gathoni Wamushomba placed a bill in the parliament. She argues that the country should have standardized uniforms. You remember like the way they did with the buses where all the school buses were supposed to be painted yellow? Now it's the same case with the uniforms. She says that this move will help the parents, especially for the different prices of uniforms in different schools. She says that uniform distributors collaborate with the school heads to fleece the parents because some schools sell their uniforms very, very expensive. And she says that the training that they're doing for the tailors, the tailors that are being trained are the ones who are supposed to produce this standardized uniform. Now, after she placed this bill into the parliament agreed with it and passed the bill. And they gave the office of the Ministry of Education to approve and implement the bill. Now, the Cabinet Secretary, Ezekiel Mashogo, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Mashogo, has not done anything about it. He says that it is very impossible to do this because schools have a sense of belonging with the uniforms. Also, I actually wonder, you remember like back then in the days of functions, funkies and everything? Can you imagine the whole people, the whole school, okay, the whole population is dressed in the same color? How will you differentiate who is from this school, who is from this school? She says that the uniforms, the standardized uniforms, will go according to probably the sub-county or the county or at a national level. So I don't know what will happen, but we're waiting for the Ministry of Education to either implement it or not. Moving on to our next story, a woman in Kayole claimed that one of her twins was stolen by the hospital. Vanya Ega was a first-time mother who gave birth via the cesarean section. She gave birth to twins, but she only got one baby. Now, after giving birth, she asked the nurse or the midwife where one twin was, and she said that the doctor was wiping the baby. Now she was cool, and when the doctor came to kumweka maji, to put water in her, the doctor came to take care of her, she asked where the other child was, and the doctor told her to ask the person who did the CS on her. Now, this brought a lot of alarm, and she involved the family. She called her aunt, and when her aunt reached out, she was told that one of the babies died. 24 hours later, the hospital had not told them that the child or the one twin had died. And this brought a lot of confusion, because how do you tell me that I gave birth to two twins, but one died, and you're telling me 24 hours later? Now, when the husband got into the case and was involved in the case, that's when they said, no, the daughter, one of the twin died 2 weeks before giving birth. And according to Van, on date 30, she went to do a scan, and both of her babies were okay. Now, this raises a lot of suspicion. They refused to take one of the baby. They were given the baby in a carton, the dead body in a carton, but they said that these fetus looked like miscarried fetus, and the scan proved that their baby was very healthy. Now, Kayole 2 Level 4 Hospital is in deep trouble, and the area commander said that they will look into the case, but I really hope that the justice is found for Vine Nyaega. on to our next story. Let's cross over to Andwamero, the Jabaland. So the governor of Meru, Mwangaza, has been impeached on December, just some few months after she got into the office. The county assembly tried to impeach her. Now, when the case went to the Senate, which chose 11 members, a special committee of 11 members to take care of this issue, she was found not guilty as charged, or the things that they were saying she had done, there was no proof. So they let go the case. Now, few months later, here they go. So the county assembly gathered and said that she is not conducting the office well, she's misusing the funds. Okay, a lot, and now they impeached her. Can you imagine? 59 of the MCAs, all the MCAs present during the meeting, impeached her. Not even one supported her, and 10 were absent. Now, the case will now be taken to the Senate. Now, the final case, mwisho wa huu mada itaishia kwa the Senate. They might choose to give their conclusion as a house, or they might choose a committee of 11 members to see about this case. Several governors, especially female, like Susan Keheka, were in and saying that no, people are just being unfair. But let's say, probably we should not pull the gender card in this time, because being impeached 2 times in the office, less than an year into the office, well, that's deep trouble. And CBD, tuingie CBD kidogo. This week, His Honorable, the governor of Nairobi, Sakaja Johnson, had a meeting with the enforcement officers and the Hawkers Association, and they were talking, and he said that hawking in CBD is prohibited. I know when you're walking in town, everywhere you walk, kuna hawkers, right? When you need ukitaka nguo, ukitaka nini, and that's actually what happens, especially if you're an impulsive buyer, because there are goods everywhere. Now, the governor said that hawking in CBD imekataliwa kabisa, especially in Moi Avenue and even bus stop. He says that there is a multi-million project that they are planning to invest in, and the investors have already sourced the money or given the money, so they need to move. He said that he will look for a different place so that hawkers can be doing their hawking, and he says that it is also a problem of the previous governors because they didn't build markets for the hawkers. And on that day, City Hall was to go around town looking if there are hawkers. And of course, some hawkers didn't turn up, but most hawkers were doing their job. Because we have been doing this, how do you tell me that I'm not supposed to hawk? And I've been doing this for the longest time. I wish they gave some, probably msihawk huku, but not everywhere, or sometime, or even a charge. But I just hope all will be well. But do you think hawking will really be prohibited in, hakuna hawking kabisa CBD? I highly doubt, but we will look into the issue. Earlier on into our videos that we have been doing in weekly recap, we covered the story of Eric Migo, the finance boss who was stabbed 25 times by a minor, and also we followed up and said that the minor had been found in Kibera Estate. Now, she is Anne Adhiambo, who we thought was a 17-year-old, pleaded as guilty. Now, when she was on court, she pleaded as guilty and said, yes, ni ukweli, I killed, nilimua, ni ukweli. And even the judge told her, asked her 3 times, do you know how pleading guilty, do you know the consequences of pleading guilty? And she was okay with it. Now, she was told to consult her lawyers and present the case again to a higher court on November 5th, and that's when the court will make its final judgment. So people thought that she was a minor. but and even the defensive team was saying that she was 17-year-old. That's a minor. But with the age assessment, the age assessment and the mental assessment test that was done at Mathari National Hospital, it proved that she is not a minor. Huyu ni mtu mzima. She's an adult, a consenting adult, and she's of sound mind. So she knew whatever she was doing, and she will be charged as guilty with murder. So finally, justice for Eric Migo. Though I really wonder, what was the motive behind the murder? What was the motive? Wow. Okay. Anyway, I do not know, but I hope that everything will go as planned. And November 5th, I just hope that the case will be finished and justice will be found. We will go on a short break and we will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned. Moving on to international news. So the Haiti, earlier on, the police officers were supposed to be taken to Haiti, and this brought a lot of controversies, discussions and comments saying that our soldiers were supposed to be taught to speak in French because they were going to Haiti. But the High Court Justice Chacha stopped the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki, saying that the people or the officers are not supposed to be taken to Haiti because we do not have enough soldiers as we are. And he was also saying that it was so the Third Way Alliance Party filed a petition saying that it was not okay to deploy our soldiers to Haiti, and it had to be stopped immediately until a later date when the court will decide whether it is okay to take the soldiers to Haiti. Now Haiti is going through some issues, and the UN has been trying to stop this war, and Kenya ilijitolea, volunteered and said, yeah, we have enough soldiers, why not give some? Now the party leader, the Third Way Alliance party leader, Dr. Award, says that he's not very okay with what the president did, and we do not have enough soldiers as we are, so we cannot give people soldiers when we ourselves do not have enough soldiers. So we will wait for the court to say whether our soldiers will be taken to Haiti or if they will remain with us in Kenya, or if they will be taught French or something, on a very light note. On our last news of the day and international news, moving on to royal family. Are you royal? Yeah, royal and loyal. We seem that Kenya are loyal to Britain, and the royal family of Britain, the King Charles III and Queen Camilla will be coming to Kenya from 31st October to November. And this will actually be the first visit of the king since he got into the monarch and since he became the king. And this will be like the fourth time that he will be visiting, but this will be the first visit to a Commonwealth country since he got into the office. Now they will be coming with Queen Camilla, and everybody has visited the country in privately, but now they will be coming as a team. They will be visiting, of course, Nairobi, Mombasa, and their surroundings. And the issues that they will be talking about is youth empowerment and how to work together, because Britain and Kenya have strong dynamic relations. And also they will be talking about the marine, the Kenyan marine issues, and it seems that the king is very much passionate about the marine life, and they will be talking and knowing how to improve on these issues. So the visit will be taken, might have mixed reactions, because as you know, we were colonized by the British, and Kenyans, especially the Mau Mau era, Kenyans died from the rain. After the announcement of the emergency in 1952 till we got the independence, when there was a lot of fight with the Mau Mau and the British. So during that state of emergency, a lot happened, and Kenyans Kenyans suffered. Can you imagine? 10,000 Kenyans died in this war. And when actually the British colony was sued, and in 2013 they were willing to pay for 5,000 people to refund or compensate for 5,000 Mau Mau soldiers who died during the fight, and it cost several million pounds. But has it really imetuosha roho kweli? Imetuosha roho. Also, people are a little bit confused because there is a British troop in Kenya at Nanyuki. Nanyuki is dominated by the British, and earlier on there was a case of a British soldier who killed a Kenyan woman. So there are a lot of issues that might receive mixed reactions, but we hope that this will be good. And well, British, especially with the royal family, they have a very strong history in Kenya, because like the Queen Elizabeth got into the office when she was in Kenya, when his father died, and even they made a trip of, actually, Queen Elizabeth, when she got into the office, the first trip that she made to Commonwealth country was in Kenya with her husband, Prince Philip. So Kenya has very strong history when it comes to the royal family, and probably that's why they chose to visit Kenya first. But it is good when we are having the royal family visiting us, and we just hope that we will work together with the British to continue. And I hope that this is not a sign of neo-colonialism, because we might be selling ourselves the second time. But I hope all will be well. Thank you so much for being tuned since through this video. I do not take it for granted, and thank you very much. You can follow us across all social media platforms at NewsunplugKE, and kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel, do like, do comment, and tell us what's trending and what should we cover, and please share. My name is Vivian Kabono, and you can also follow me across all social media platforms at ViviCabs. Thank you so much. Do have a nice week.